Okay, this is chapter 4 and the Snipes. I just want to credit Brian Thomas with this stunning image of a Wilson snipe taken in the Isles of Scilly. Just the way its wings are lifted up, showing the diagnostic underwing, barring, and the thin white trailing edge just slightly obscured in the reeds. You just want to find one and have it show like that, don't you? Well, straight in. This is an amazing shot. It's a flock of Wilson snipes in England. The Isles of Scilly, 1 Wilson snipe, 2 Wilson snipe, 3 Wilson snipe with 2 common snipe. And I read the book, but I think the evidence is that they are overlooked. Now, one of the ways to get into the identification of Wilson snipe, the complexity of snipe plumages, is to learn to age our common snipes, find a good spot, and learn to tell the juveniles and first winters and the adults. And we've got a 2-page spread in the book covering that. So here's a fresh juvenile common snipe on my local patch in July, and you can see it has, these are all juvenile white fringed scapular feathers here, thin white fringes, and you see these lovely juvenile coverts where the pale marking goes right up and around the side of the feather, especially on that one there. And these tertials are juvenile with this tiny thin white tip and thin dark subterminal band, and then a tiger stripe pattern. See Ray Scally's illustrations of juveniles and adults on our 2-page aging spread. Now here's 2 more juvenile snipes, late July, slightly rufusy one, slightly darker one. And again, the juvenile pattern, and these are juvenile. These are newly molted scapulars here with the adult type wider straw-coloured fringe mixed in with the juvenile scapulars with the thin white fringe. And there's a juvenile tertial. Also take a note of the black and whitish barring on the flanks. Just look at the shape of that. I'm going to comment on that in a minute. And I'm also going to comment on crown streaking. I think this might be a feature, needs testing, that could really be useful. This is another juvenile common snipe, and notice how the crown is pretty blackish but with lots of little flecks, and these get more and more as the bird gets older. This is late July juvenile common snipe. So have a watch of this video. This is a juvenile common snipe, and see if you can see the aging features. Here's as it moves around. Here's the juvenile coverts. These are juvenile scapulars. These are newly replaced adult type scapulars, and the juvenile tertial pattern. Just have a wee watch. Okay, that's on my local patch at Thornick in Flamborough, and just a digiscoped video. So here's an adult by Ashley Fisher of a common snipe, showing much more pale flecking in the lateral crown stripes. And here's the same bird, adult common snipe, back on, showing the adult tertial pattern. It's a bit broken here, but a bigger pale tip, a band more across the feather, and a kind of diffuse, broad, pale bands over the tertials. Now then, back to 1 or 2 of the points I made earlier. Here's a juvenile Wilson snipe in October. First week of October, they leave Newfoundland, some of them, calling as they go. Now what's interesting, you see, with practice, you learn to see these things. Lovely, easy juvenile pattern of coverts here, juvenile tertial pattern, and Wilsons compared to common have this kind of ghosting where it sort of fades away as it goes in. But I want you to notice the colour of the lateral crown stripes, which are almost solid black. Now I wonder if a snipe in October with almost solid black crown stripes like that, I wonder if that's nearly always going to be a Wilson snipe. Something to test, an easy feature to look for. A lovely photograph by Martin Goody. Can you age this one? Yeah, it's another juvenile. Tertials, wing covert, scapulars, all juvenile, and showing its tail. And we watch snipe for a while, they'll reveal the tail. In Wilsons, often both the outermost and the second one are the same pattern. Well, this pattern here and this second one is wrong for Wilson's, and it's right for common snipe. Now, what about the enigmatic Pharaoh snipe? One of my favourite fascinating subjects. This one's photographed in the Faroes. Super rufusy. A young bird in October or November. A mix of molt. But just look at the intricate reddish patterns. And here is what I think is a juvenile Faroensis on the Scillies, again by Martin Goody, a mixture of molt. But look at the strange wavy patterning on the flank feathers. I think it might be a feature of some Faroensis. Here's an adult Faroensis, Pharaoh snipe on the Faroes. Again, remember those earlier snipe with a very straightforward pattern on the flanks? Look at the wacky kind of wavy pattern on the flanks of this one. So this bird here was photographed on the Scillies by Ashley Fisher, a little more rufusy looking, next to a more normal looking bird. Then it turns sideways and it's got the wacky flank patterning of a Faroese type snipe. Here's one I photographed on Shetland. I think this is a Pharaoh snipe. Clearly a juvenile with the very thin whitish fringe scapulars. Lots of intricate rusty markings all the way through the plumage. Quite a dark looking bird this as well. And I have a feeling that on average the barring in the underwing of the Pharaoh snipe is more heavily marked than the nominate form of common snipe. Maybe they are related to a mystery of the past, the Swinnow snipe. They don't exist anymore, they're considered extinct, but these two are taken in Ireland. Swinnow snipe, some of them could be just dark-bodied snipe with an entirely smoky dark underwing. Look at the slightly wavy pattern of flank feathering. Here's another with darker than any Wilson snipe, but this strange pattern. Anyway, lots to be discovered. Hope you enjoyed that.